Hello there, let's take a look at your markets news. Asian stocks are mixed today as investors still digest U.S. President Donald Trump's latest shifting trade salvos. Japan and South Korea among major U.S. trading partners in the region facing an August 1st deadline to reach a trade deal or to be subjected to new tariff rates, although Trump has sent mixed signals on how flexible that date is. Markets were still wary after Trump broadened his global trade war by threatening a 50% tariff on copper. Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 rose 0.86% and after stock markets opened in the morning. In Hong Kong, the benchmark Hang Seng index lost 0.36%, opening at 24,061, and the Shanghai Composite Index started roughly flat at 3,498.72 points. Still on that market that's digesting those tariffs, U.S. copper prices have jumped to a record high today as U.S. President Trump announced that he would impose that 50% tariff on the imported copper, broadening his global trade war. Copper is an important component to electric vehicles, military hardware, the power grid and other many consumer goods. U.S. COMEX copper futures jumped more than 12% to a record high after this announcement of this planned tariff. Trump has also said that levies on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals will also come in soon. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.37%. The S&P 500 also down 0.07%. The Nasdaq Composite is up at 5.95% or nearly 6 points, and it is to 20,418.46. All right, let's take a look at all-share index locally, which is down 0.2%. It's currently sitting at 97,046. Taking a quick look at the currencies at this hour, the rand is trading at 17 rands 84 cents to the US dollar. It's sitting at 24 rands 24 cents to the pound and at 20 rands and 90 cents to the euro. Let's bring up those commodity numbers. Gold is trading at $3,286, while platinum is at $1,345 per ounce, and the price of Brent crude oil is up today. It's at $70.70 a barrel. We're going to be speaking to Victor Seanie from the head of research, specifically, firstly, about that oil price and what's driving it. Victor, always great to have you on the show. Firstly, I've just mentioned that the Brent crude price is now sitting at $70. Do we know what's driving that?
Good afternoon, Liabo, and to your viewers. Thank you for having me. Yes, so on the oil front, what's driving that is that overnight we've heard that the International Energy Agency has announced that U.S. oil production for 2025 will be lower than 2024, and it'll also be coming in lower than was previously expected. So that's one of the drivers on the supply side. On the geopolitical side, we've heard overnight that there were two attacks in the Red Sea, Houthi attacks, and unfortunately 3 individuals were killed in the attacks. They were drone attacks on shipping vessels in the Red Sea. So a lot more risk aversion emerging from that region, and as a result, oil tankers will have travel longer distances to try and avoid those hazards in the Red Sea, and therefore driving up cost of transporting oil.
Yeah, and as always, we always tell our... Sorry about that. I was just about to say we always sensitize our viewers that the reason where we do keep markets to keep an eye on the oil prices, that it does have ultimately an impact on our energy prices should it stay sustained at that level or even higher.
Yes, filtering through to our refined products in diesel and petrol used to transport our consumer goods around, and adding further inflationary pressure to consumers in South Africa who are really struggling. The last point on the oil price increase, it was reported that stockpiles of crude oil in the U.S. were lower by about 2.1 million barrels for the week.
All right, okay. Let's come back a little bit home and look at how the local market is digesting that tariff announcement for South Africa. Yesterday there was that to and froing about the balance of payments, the balance of trade, I beg your pardon, and whether it is 7.6 or is it 30% that we should be having as a tariff. How have you read what's on the market this morning?
Yes, so the tariff overnight, the big announcement that came up, the 50% tariff on copper, has had the most negative impact on the commodity space. We see there's only one exception being oil, but as you saw, gold was down. We see platinum prices are down. And the biggest laggards on the market today on the JSE is the resources sector. That sector's down, whereas financials and industrials are up today. And overall, the JSE is down just a tad.
Yeah. Let me spend the last 2 minutes with you and talk about, which I found quite interesting, that delivery battle with SPAR. I know that most of our viewers are probably using those services of delivery, and they are ramping up with Uber Eats tie-up. It's really going to make things interesting in the retail market because everyone is really vying for that top spot. How do you see this latest development?
Yes, SPAR partnering with Uber Eats is positive for SPAR. SPAR unfortunately has had to play catch up to Checkers. Checkers at the moment it has about 94% of its Checkers stores that offer 60/60 delivery. So they've pretty much reached full penetration, and that's why we saw them roll out the delivery now to their ShopRite stores. On the other hand, SPAR has only about 20% or so of its stores that offer the SPAR to you delivery service.
Yeah.
So they still have a lot of penetration to make up. That's why, to accelerate this rollout, they've decided to partner with Uber Eats, also so that they can reach underserved areas without spending any more capex on stores.
Let me steal a minute or two with you as well, just to talk a little bit about that Vodacom and Remgro breakthrough that we saw yesterday. Surely the Vodacom shares have gone up this morning. How are you reading this? Obviously very good for our viewers who may be consumers and users of internet and connectivity, but do tell us more about the benefits.
Yes, I think the benefits will accrue perhaps largely to Vodacom and to Remgro. We see the Remgro prices the second best performer among major stocks today on the market. I'm actually in the market for fiber right at the moment, and I can see that the prices aren't that wonderful. So this might be negative for consumers. This gives Vodacom a lot more market power, and it may be able to foreclose against its competitors from using the Vumatel fiber infrastructure. So it's a great acquisition for Vodacom. A big surprise that the Competition Commission changed its mind about it. But it has entrenched Vodacom's competitive advantage compared to MTN and the rest in the market.
Victor, always great speaking to you, and thank you so much for digesting what's trending on the markets today. I've been speaking to Victor Seanie. He's the head of research at Benguela Global Fund Managers, and that's what we have for you for the markets today. Mfundo is waiting on the other side to give you more news after this break.